think I can tell the same. So Warrior Lady and the Fiora were the only ones making a difference with the brilliant teleports, the brilliant riposts. I think that was game in itself.
Well, Different Dimension are going to have first pick for this game one, and they open the bonding phase with the Rise. So this is going to be the third time in a row we see Dominance Rise taken out of the equation, and this is a no-brainer. Warrior Lady has to get both Jax and Fiora banned. I just have to throw that out there.
And then still, Irelia will be in the pick phase, and if Irelia is in the pick phase without Jax, so without someone to take her down, what's the answer again to Warrior Lady? So there's just so many bans that need to happen. Oh, not just against Warrior Lady, but in the top side, in the top lane, that there's just not enough.
Yeah, well, second wave of ban is going to be Elise and Dr. Mundo, so junglers getting focused in this second wave. Elise is taken away from Psycho. It is one of his best champions, and Mundo is the champion that Konzi-san has said is the strongest one in the current patch, although he has found tremendous success with Lee Sin. So Riven will follow a ban that targets both Dominant and Emilia, as we have seen today. And now there's only room for one more ban. Irelia is open, Fiora is open, and we could see a trillion things on that top lane, so I wouldn't be surprised if neither of those gets banned.
I would be, to say the least, yes, because, okay, Fiora is a great top laner, but Irelia just got a lot of boost.
There you go, Lulu.
Exactly.
So, pretty target ban.
Exactly. But Lulu is more like target ban to the bot lane, because, you know, with the changes, supports that have shields and plus HP values, I think they are more likely to go to the bot lane right now instead of going to the mid lane and the top lane, despite us having it seen today in the mid lane, thanks to Wonderstag eSports, because the buffs are just so OP right now. In the bot lane, you're just hard to kill.
With Lulu getting banned away from Pretty now, wow, okay. Look, this creates a very interesting dynamic on that top lane. Irelia is open, Fiora is open. No matter what someone picks, they can answer with the other one, and it is a skill matchup on that top lane. So Different Dimension chooses to go for neither one, as they can get one of those no matter what, and they will actually take Lucian away, which is very clever.
I think they just show how confident Warrior Lady is in his abilities to win the top lane matchup with his skill level, and he's willing to give up any comfortable pick that Emilia wants to have. That is just great play. As you mentioned, today we've seen, I think, a lot of matchups being pretty much done thanks to the pick and ban phase, and this is basically outpicking the enemy team.
We could see a Gnar, but that would go against all of our predictions, and Void Gaming are known for going for the Alistar Kalista as red side very, very often, so yeah, the insta-lock will be imminent, and Emilia with Psycho take the bot lane first for Void Gaming, so neither VG or DD want to invest so much into an early top lane pick, and with Kalista Alistar being locked down there, Different Dimension now are in a position where they could lock Lee Sin for Konzi-san, but there's just very good counterplay to him already.
That is just what I wanted to say. So with the Lee Sin in the early game, I think Yushin could get rolling, as we've already seen in this game, but with the Alice banned out, I don't think there's a right enough answer for the Lee Sin in the early game. So in the jungle, from a different dimension, I think that would be the appropriate answer and appropriate play style that their bans have suggested so far. But these are last second picks.
Okay, yeah, that was expected. Jungle and support insta-locked. We talked about Wild Panda's Thresh. It's very comfortable. He has found great success with it, and the same is with Konzi-san. Lee Sin of the Polish jungler is just legendary, and it's gonna be remaining open here with Mundo banned.
and that's Ramus.
Oh, Ramus.
Actually, in the current meta, I would consider that a flexible pick.
It's also, if you think about it, a very nice counter to listen. He can instantly knock him up if he just stands in his way. The taunt keeps him pinned down, so his team can burst him. And Ramus could actually be a form of disengage while standing in the way of Konze-san and denying him a possible initiation.
Exactly, and just imagine the amount of armor that he's gonna have by late game. Now, we're talking about late game again, which today I don't think ever happened. So
Yeah,
the games
well,
were pretty much closed by the time
welcome to
that we
Snowball Land, man.
Exactly.
That's today. 30 minutes matters, and I can say I'm disappointed. Like, a lot of action. You said it earlier today. We were getting more than 2 kills per minute, and although it might sound tiring, it's actually so entertaining, and I'm having a great time with his teams tonight.
I'm just curious how the Ramus pick is going to affect the early game, because, you know, Ramus only has a gap closing ability of movement speed. Now,
Yes.
that's not always working, plus he can get stuck in the minions, so the gank potential in this champion is not so great. I mean, considering that he's against Lee Sin, chances are not looking so good for Void Gaming so far in the
Truth
early game.
is, I wouldn't count ganking a Thresh lane with Ramus just because of that Dark Passage, but he can stay between the Dark Passage and Thresh, and when someone gets pulled up, he can actually interrupt it with a knockup. And this could be a very nice answer to some bot lane aggression from different dimension. If they overextend, how did we miss that Soraka is actually unbanned?
That's what I wanted to ask.
And Void Gaming, already having Alistar, are actually thinking that.
I mean, Soraka is always a possibility thanks to the Grievous Wounds changes, but since you already stated that they have a support champion and a support character, I don't think Soraka is going to be in this game, which is crazy, because she's always been banned
Well,
the past
we
few
already
games.
have the support, so yeah, maybe it's not gonna happen. And two last picks for different dimension, Malphite and Kassadin. So Kassadin has been very strong lately, and it gives Pretty some very
Hello.
good assassin potential. But why are we talking about Kassadin's assassin potential when we have Poppy? Like, this champion got buffed on 523.
Yeah.
It's still 522, which makes it an even more interesting pick. And Emiya locks it with very much confidence.
And I think that's mainly because he's confident in his skill level, and also because that's a Hungarian pick, if I may, because, you know,
Really?
yeah, Chochi was the first one who brought that out. I mean, he did not even want it, I'm not saying that. He was the first one to bring that one out against Malka, if I'm correct, in the Challenger Series, when they actually got the Unicorns of Love to the LCS level. Now, against really heavy tanks, Poppy is just a great pick because his percentage damage is just huge.
Well, she is known as a tank killer. Also, she's one of those picks that can just ult the backline and completely dodge all forms of crowd control. And talking about crowd control, we saw how the lineup of different dimension looks like. We have Malphite, Thresh, Listen, and neither of those guys will be able to peel for Lucian. So Miracolo will have to one-on-one Emiya, and I'm not sure how this sounds.
Exactly, so if Emiya wants to go in and 1v1 with that Lucian, he will have the chance. And while he's doing that, it will also give his team the potential to team fight all their way through the, I don't know, tank line of different dimension.
Well, Konze-san has picked up the Bruce Lee skin, so that is definitely going to be looking pretty elite. And while we have Malphite against Poppy on that top lane, and it is going to be a very interesting point to take a look at, Konze-san finds an invading opportunity right here from Void. They get spotted out, and despite that, they will keep going. They want some early vision. Maybe this foretells a possible lane swap with Alistar and Kalista, but I'm not really sure how Poppy can play against two players, and right now the Poppy Mal fight looks pretty good for Void Gaming.
I mean, the early vision might be.
Oh, Dominant gets caught the death sentence. Ignite comes out. Gonzi-san opens the game with first blood, and Void Gaming gets punished for invading that jungle. Now Warrior Lady delays ults recall, and this will make bot lane even harder for Void. Warrior Lady is on half mana, and this is definitely something we should not ignore. But Alistar is so tremendously late in that bot lane, which is gonna cost Raga's early game.
Still, the vision is out, and well, Void Gaming knows exactly where Lee Sin is, but what's the point of acquiring information if you can't use it? So there is no lane swap, as we can see on the minimap. So Poppy is in the top lane against Malphite, which is, I think, ideal for Poppy, because we've already stated how much damage
well,
she can inflict.
Opened up with a first blood, but she didn't actually have the chance to go and buy something with the extra gold. So right now Void Gaming are not severely left back, but once Consistent recalls, he's gonna have a very significant advantage compared to Psycho. And Consistent snowballing from shots early to this game doesn't look good for VG.
The most important skill or first blood anticipation a few patches before was junglers, because when they acquired first blood they could upgrade their jungler items. Now it's not possible, because with the new patch being brought in, they increased the recipe price for upgrading your smite. And also we have to state that I Look Pretty is having another corruption potion in the middle lane, which means when Kasarin wants to exchange a little damage with Ahri, he's gonna have a little plus, a little bonus.
Well, it's already 3rd minute and he has 2 stacks used, so I gotta say Dominant does a pretty good job harassing him. And right now we do see Consistent being very close to mid lane. He's looking to make a play onto Dominant, who's locking his flash, but Dominant just stays from the lower side, not giving him the chance to go for it.
Now we also didn't mention that the Ruber Crystal is being picked up on Malphite, so that's not a traditional start. That does not grant him any life regeneration, just plus 150 HP if I'm correct, which means he will just want to farm it safely and do not go into trades in the early game.
Yeah, so meanwhile, taking a look at the bot lane, surprisingly enough, Raga is winning in farming, and first wave he was 2 versus 1, so I'm not exactly sure of how that happened, but props to Raga for making it happen against 2 people.
And if you already mentioned the corruption potion being brought up by Kasarin, we also have to state that Lulu, I mean, not Lulu, Poppy does exactly the same. They are both small, so...
Well, they're both Yordles, so...
exactly.
That is a very understood mistake. And Dominant on that mid lane, he managed to poke down Pretty very well, but right now he's standing on half HP. Pretty is out of mana, so there's no danger of him going down, but his pressure is slowly decreasing, and while Pretty levels up that magic shield, trading against Ahri becomes easier with every level.
I mean, because of the Void Blade, Kasarin will just have enough mana to keep himself in the lane, and that means he has definitely won the early stage of the game with a melee champion against a ranged assassin. So Ahri is not mobile yet, Kasarin is not mobile either yet, but I think winning this matchup is the key to having a late game.
Well, we do see Consistent already having that Tracker's Knife, and this is gonna make him already so dangerous, especially when he gets at level 6. He can already combo summon into his team, and that early lead will allow him to get the early longsword and also a pink ward. So let's see where the jungler of Different Dimension invests that gold in. Well, on that bot lane, I do see Miracle and Wild Panda playing a passive game yet again. It is actually Consistent that moves to that side of the map, possibly trying to create a play.
Also, both top laners have opted for the teleport meta, so they want to help out their teams and split push at the same time. The first item being Oh, the hook does not land, which means Lee Sin will just have to back off from this ninja situation. Now, what I was trying to say is the Sheen is the first item that Poppy bought, and we also mentioned today how the changes affect this item. That will just mean that the trades will benefit Poppy more than Malphite.
Mana and damage and spell, it sounds good. So trading is going to be very favorable to Emilia, especially if he doesn't let Warrior Lady abuse his passive. So right now, Emilia looks pretty good, only 5 CS behind. He is definitely a champion that outscales Warrior Lady, and he already has the upper hand. Warrior Lady is below half HP, but
That's
oh look, Wild Panda gets the flash pulverized onto by Oath, and now he has to go away. He knows he's dead, but Psycho gets it onto Miracolo. He flashes away, the heal saves him, and the short kill on Wild Panda is actually being saved. Now Psycho has to be careful. Meanwhile, on top lane, the massive diplomacy comes out. Warrior Lady will try to remain alive for Konzi-san to get the kill, but now Emilia goes in. There comes the ward. Flash and the safeguard will not help, but now there's Pretty to take the payback, but it's not gonna be the save for Warrior Lady. It's a 1-for-1 in the end.
Exactly, so there's a payback in the 8th minute in a 1 versus 3 situation. Now we can see
and look at the flashes from different dimensions. They both use that for a very fair exchange.
And the shield wasn't enough to save Malphite, but on the note of different dimension, Custody managed to contain his flash and his ignite as well, so that's just a free kill for him, although that's still in favor of Void Gaming. So altogether we have 3 kills, 2 in favor of different dimension, but still, as you also stated, that Poppy pick in the top lane is paying off so far.
I'm really liking this this pick already, and surprisingly, we do have Pretty with one of the most passive early game picks of the game, already with 100% kill participation. He will now start roaming with his ultimate, maybe, especially after he gets Road of Ages, he will be very strong. But take a look at top lane. Emilia made a very good play, but it is going to be him losing a lot of farm and experience as a result of that push, and hopefully we do see Void Gaming keeping Konzi-san in tech, because they have done a very good job until now. Konzi-san hasn't been able to create a lot of plays, and this one that he did on top lane was not exactly the most favorable one.
What I wanted to point out before is the bot lane action and gank potential, and well, mainly the fact that Psycho made a mistake. So when he came to gank, he did not opt for going for White Panda, which would have resulted in an instant kill.
Very greedy play, yeah.
Exactly, so he wanted to have both kills, and in the end, he didn't have any kills. More than that, he even had to burn his own flash to save his own life.
Yeah, that was really the cherry on top of the cake, and I'm taking a look at the map, and although I do see Void Gaming having the vision control, they're really not translating that into any objective leads. So I know it's very early into the game with Vespos coming up, but taking a look at how it has progressed until now, the only place we do see a fair advantage for someone is for Ago in that bot lane. And how can you really be leading against Lucian and Thresh, especially when you were left without a support for the first 1.5 wave?
Well, you know, Lucian's biggest power is that he can trade a lot of auto attacks, but against the Kalista, who can just dodge your laser beams, I mean, that's most of your damage. So if you dodge that, you are basically out of the game. And other than that, Olistar has been constantly being in the face of Lucian, headbutting him away from all his farms, so that's why we can see a 15 CS difference between the two AD carries.
We're back.
And we're back in the game.
So hopefully that was the last of the poses, and as we go back into this game, we do see aggression onto Miracle on that bot lane. He's now out of mana. The death sentence is good, but he doesn't quite get him in raids. The Dark Passage will silt him, and Miracle knows that he can't overextend like this again. This Kalista was so punishing, and with a single Jordan's Blade too.
thanks to the Protector, Kostadin can just stay in the middle lane as long as he pleases, and he still has the Corruption Potion, so
Oh, Panda, he gets dived. The play comes out. Oath gets healed. It's Rago who gets a kill. Meanwhile, there comes the dive onto Miracle of Void Gaming with an early double kill, but they are gonna lose Rago as a result of the dive.
And because of the changes, 2 kills now result in shutdown, so that's team money going over to different dimension, but still, the kill count is 6, being 3-3 altogether. So Kalista is definitely in the lead, not just in CS anymore, but also in terms of kills.
Well, yeah, take a look at the gold. There's really no advantage for either team. This is dead even. And the only way we could say that someone is leading is just of how well could they scale into the game.
Coming in hot.
And Mia now is getting caught between a rock and a hard place. Condition is there. He gets the Dragon Trade wrong, and Emilia escapes. What a beautiful counter to listen. This is the perfect answer to listen actually blindsiding you. Poppy simply jumps on him, getting a free gap closer, and a second one for free as the Dragon's Rage has a severe casting time.
Not even mentioning the fact that Lee Sin's ultimate will be on cooldown. Now you can see the harass coming out from Alistar, but that, as we have already stated, is constant, so there's no stopping it. The 14 CS difference still remains, but as you can see, Lucian and Kalista are having quite different itemizations, because the first item that Kalista is going to finish is the Blade of the Ruined King, while Lucian will opt for the Essence River as it's a must on him.
Yeah, and Recurve Bow right now is very strong as an item, especially in Kalista. It gives you actually 15 magic damage on hit. And with Kalista, this just works so well. Meanwhile, Rago will be freezing the lane. And this will make different dimension overextend a little bit, but this looks like a setup for Rambus. But oh, Warrior Lady actually gets a kill onto that top lane, and now Pretty goes aggressive onto Dominant, who lacks mana. Now Spirit Rush will be used. Second one too. There comes Pretty with the flash. He gets the payback kill, and different dimension with 2 kills in total make Void Gaming lose a little bit of their control towards mid and top.
What I just wanted to point out is the teleport difference between the 2 top laners. So in the early game, Malphite used it, so he had it up sooner than Poppy. That's why he abused. So he went home, bought the Sunfire, and with the damage, he just came back to the top lane, finished his opponent, and then the tower as well. In the middle lane, we can see another tower being taken down. So Different Dimension has a 2-tower lead so far in the 11th minute of the game.
That is great progress for Different Dimension, and I just have to say this. Different Dimension did not need to snowball the game so hard early game. They have a list, and they have a Malphite, but the whole meaning of this was to create plays. Malphite gets the power spike of a Sunfire Cape, and as a result, he completely dominates Emilia one-on-one. And the same happens on mid lane. Now, we do see a Herald being contested, but it is actually going to be taken? I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's an interesting turn of events. We just do not see the text indicating that the Herald is taken. Nevertheless, between
Psycho, he's rolling. He wants to go for it, but he doesn't get the chance. Now it is going to be a 3 against 4 charm. Gets Wild Panda. Initiation goes in. It is going to be Wild Panda taken down, but not fast enough, so he survives. So now there comes Warrior Lady. This is a fight. Teleport comes out. Pretty gets a killing spree. Double unstoppable force. There it goes. Emilia gets the kill onto Miracolo, and the sole kill for Void Gaming is going to be on the main damage dealer, so they can survive the continuation of this fight, but it is going to be a 2-for-1, at least for now. Can Different Dimension translate it into a dragon, though?
even Oathbaker had to flash away from Kostadin's damage, and you can see, he just doesn't stop. Pretty is just falling down all kills, just to insert enough damage to have them back down, and the first dragon goes to Different Dimension, thus granting them the 6% damage buff that they, well, do they need it really? I mean, we are still in the early/mid game, and Kostadin is already up 3-0. That's just a lot.
Man, I don't know. I just have to say, I saw that great initiation from Different Dimension and I was expecting much more. And Mia teleported late and he only has a scene. And despite that, he destroys Miracle on his own. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, Freddy is going for it. He has a Herald buff and he tries to go for the kill on Mia. He does it. He gets it. It's 8-4-4 with a 4-0 early game Kassadin. This looks nightmarish for Void.
This is just what we pointed out. And other than that, the 2-0 Lee Sin is a nightmare in himself, having the warrior finished. And oh, look at that. First item is Sword of Ages. That's pretty much what you buy on the Kassadin as a first item. And then the Lich Bait is coming in.
Well, yeah, are we gonna see an early Lich Bane or are we gonna see the Abyssal Scepter abuse on Kassadin? Like right now, both Rod of Ages and Abyssal were buffed, but a Dominant gets a little bit cold. Oh, there we go, Consistent goes in. He instantly regrets it, and the Rammus answer to that resonating strike gets blatantly obvious now.
That was the perfect timing from Void Gaming. Thus they had the reaction time to stop Consistent, who didn't have time to use his flash and kick, thus resulting in a free kill for Void Gaming. But still the difference is almost 3,000 gold thanks to the 2 tower lead and the CS lead that is present in almost all lanes except for the bot lane.
Pretty. He's looking for someone. They're looking for a pick. Different Dimension go spy mode. So James Bond mission right there, not very successful, despite them not getting noticed by wards. But right now, they have made it into the enemy jungle unnoticed. And it didn't pay off, but if they keep doing that, it is going to pay off eventually. And Void Gaming have to increase their vision around that bot lane, because it's so dangerous with the threats against them.
So far so good, Kassadin's coming up top.
Pretty. He goes in, the slow is good, and Mia is going to try to go for a 1-for-1 contest and will be the one hit by the Dimension Diplomacy. The damage is good. Look at contest, he's getting destroyed. Now Emiya gets a solo kill before he goes down, and that's exactly the power of Poppy that Emiya brings with Void Gaming.
I think this is what's gonna happen in the whole game. So Poppy goes in.
Unstoppable Force used onto Dominant. Miracolo will get brought down, but he's still alive somehow. Dark Passage, the Sealing Smite won't be enough to bring him down, but Warrior Lady does not have enough tankiness to keep doing this. Oh, Miracolo with the Ardent Blaze. He gets a snipe, and now Pretty flunks them, but he's out of mana, so he's set in a big danger. Rago, he gets a lot of damage. Ignite is sticking. It won't be enough though.
Thanks to Alistar and the heal effect. And, you know, Grievous ones still being changed, so Ignite does not halve the healing power of the cow. Now, the first item, the Trinity Force, is now finished on Poppy, and she was a nuisance before that. Now imagine what she will do after that. So, even in 1v2 situations, she always managed to pick up a kill. I think after this, she is just free to go wherever she wants.
Yeah, so Trinity Force completed. We do see a Brawler's Fist, like that extra critical could be a Zeal. I'm not sure what he will go for, but a lot of possibilities. The Poppy core build is something known to no man yet. And Wild Panda will manage to clean up that pink ward, but this gives Void Gaming the information they need. They know Herald is being contested, and with 4 people there, Different Dimension will be getting it for free.
And this is actually the first and last Herald of the game. I mean, this is the second and last Herald of the game, because we are approaching 17th minute, and after the 20th, there will be Jasper and Nasher, no Herald. Furthermore, I think if we've seen like 10 Heralds being taken today, I'm not saying much, but still, like 80% of them went to the junglers.
Yeah, well, I have to say that they used to give it to the junglers, but first Herald was given to Pretty. Second one, I think it was given to Warrior Lady for Splitibus. I'm not exactly sure, and we're gonna check it soon. But right now, Void Gaming are not in a place that they could go for fights. And also Different Dimension would not look for that when Warrior Lady does not have all of his summoners up. So they could just split around the map. Thresh and Listen are able to create plays every time they see someone overextend. And both teams could go into scaling and small skirmishes. Neither one will look for a play. Like, neither one will go for a team fight.
Now the second dragon is gonna be up in 30 seconds. That could mean more tower destroying possibilities for the blue team. Now the damage is real, as you can see.
It's a 5-1 Kassadin.
Exactly,
This
and
guy
with the corrupting potion, he also has a dot, so damage over time effect. That means, I don't know if Kalista can actually stay in the middle lane, because Kassadin is also mobile, so he only picks a fight when he wants to.
Yeah, well, Void Gaming are gonna pick up their second tower into this game. Now Rago gets caught, he has to flash over, and Pretty just gets the summoner he wanted to get. He won't have a chance to go for a kill, but this is a small win. While Dominant is soving on that bot lane, 2 inner towers are getting destroyed by Different Dimension. This is just tactical superiority at this point by Different Dimension. They are rotating around the map much more efficiently than Void. And this translates into global gold. They're 2,000 gold ahead. And this one extra tower they have, as well as the half HP tower they have on that top lane, is going to give them a much earlier edge. So, quicker power spikes.
Exactly, that is just what I wanted to point out. So, the macro play of Different Dimension is better. Although on the lanes, we did not see the same differences.
Dominant, he gets caught. He is going to go down. An honorable mention is that he almost got Miracolo, despite that 3 versus 1, but...
Yeah, and the Ignite goes out, so that's a summoner spell for a heal of Miracolo. In a 1v3 situation, that is almost ideal, so at least you got something out of it, right?
Yeah, well, not completely defeated there. He does give out a kill, and as a result, we're going to see Dragon number 2 actually, completed by Different Dimension. Some extra pushing power, check for Different Dimension, and I think it's time for them to group. Like, as we said before, Different Dimension just love to go for 21 minutes Barons. So I wouldn't be surprised with the Pinkwood we see on the map if they all move towards there and they try to rush it. But who knows better how to counter that than Void Gaming?
Also, the Runans is being completed on Kalista, so talk about power spikes here. This was the only 2 core items that she needed to finish, and even in the new meta, AD carriers with 1 core items can do a lot of damage. Now, with the buffed Hurricane, in team fights, Kalista can jump around and kill anybody she pleases.
Well, Litzbane is now completed for Pretty, but I am looking into Emilia, and what could he possibly go for? I'm thinking Phantom Dancer, and this could be completely game-breaking.
This one
is
of
like
the best 1v1 items right
the
now in the game.
hipster champion with a hipster item, and it's working so well for him.
Exactly, so if you see an enemy champion and get 12% move speed just because you see it and moving towards it, I mean, that's just huge, and you have to capitalize on that.
I have to say I'm really excited to see how Emilia makes this work. And all the Warrior Lady has done a very nice job to go there.
Nice.
Oh, Consistent gets the initiation onto Rago, and there comes the calling. It's Psycho who actually tanks the bullets for his AD, but now Dominant goes all in against Miracolo. The Charm connects, the taunt will follow. Miracolo goes down, but Warrior Lady is going in. He gets Rago. Dominant will flash over the wall, and he will go down now. But Emilia will be taking Wild Panda. Both of the damage dealers for Void Gaming are down. Now only Emilia is able to play this. Demacian Diplomacy onto Warrior Lady, who will take him down. This doesn't look good for Void. They are gonna go down, all of them, with Psycho being the last one. And it's a 5-for-2 exchange with 3 people able to push now for Different Dimension.
The cleanup squad arrived in the form of Kassadin, and yes, he was the most damage-dealing champion in the whole fight because he was mobile and directed his damage where he pleased. I'm not really sure the Ignite was necessary, but he saved a lot of time by wasting his Flash and the Ignite just to kill the Tori, and then he had time to go for the Poppy, who used Demacian Diplomacy actually after the burst that Custody has, after the whole burst that Custody has. So after every ability landed on Poppy's face, she just used the Demacian Diplomacy and had like 100 or 200 HP left.
So we do see a Kassadin completely steamrolling, and at this point, yeah, I just wanted to say, no Phantom Dancer for Poppy, so we're gonna see a static save, and it looks like we have a melee AD carry in our hands here. Infinity Edge coming up next.
I mean, that's a possibility, like seriously. But with the static, Poppy can just go and
Burst move.
do what she wants to. No, I mean, the minions, the static shift just got buffed against minions. So, in a meta where split pushing is essential, Poppy can shine.
Oh, Konza-san, he needs to go back. He doesn't have the safeguard. He gets all the attention on himself. Can he escape the question? There comes the safeguard and the Solari. He's still alive. Now there comes the double kill for Kassadin. Pretty goes in. He gets a triple. He gets... No! Miraculous steals it, and Dominant is the only one surviving. Warrior Lady is on his back, but he won't be able to get him. It's 4 kills for different dimension, and this will be a free Baron for them. Whoa!
Or would be
Surrender.
if there wasn't a surrender, exactly.
I actually like this about Void Gaming very much. We have seen them not wasting time.